Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Thursday, March 19th. It is 6:24 right now. We got market opening up shortly in about 6 minutes. So I'll give it a few moments for people to make their way in, and then we'll get started shortly. So we got that marked up there. Let's go over here real quick. Close chart. I'll clean this up. I guess I'll go ahead and mark up structure here from higher time frames, kind of see where everything's sitting right now. So we got some time. There's a daily. Let's look for the 8 hour, 4 hour over here. 2 hour. See 1 hour. $30 minute. I think we're good. So, all right, guys. Looks like people are still making their way in, but good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, March 19th. It is 6:26 right now. We got market opening up shortly in about 4 minutes. Let's see who's here so far. Morning, Lila. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Karen. Morning, Facundo. Morning, everybody. But yeah, so I've marked up structure right here. This is the higher time frame structure. I just did this so that we can kind of identify where price is likely to, obviously bounce around from and stuff. Price is obviously very bearish right here, right now, currently within these lower areas of structure. So price basically is broken, retested off the support turn resistance, and it may continue to drop down lower. Looking over here on the 1 minute time frame, if you guys are looking to take the breakout, on the 1 minute, it's looking like it's going to be a sell. On the 10 minute, it's looking like it's going to be a sell. So breakout today looks like it's going to be a sell. We don't know for sure, but it's looking like it's going to be a sell for the most part. Yeah, we have a 10 minute bearish momentum, and then on the 1 minute, we have a bearish momentum right there as well. So for those of you looking to get the breakout, that's what's going to be for today, most likely. Well, not about 3 minutes for sure, but that's kind of where it's looking like. Now looking over here at the overall, I guess, time frames for trend. It's very bearish. You can see the 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute prices below the pivots. Trend meter is red. Pivots are angling down. This indicates that we are in a bearish trend. Same with the higher time frames down here. We Yeah, we've got 10, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, all bearish. Prices below the pivots. Trend meter is red. Pivots are angling down. That's kind of what we got at the moment. So with that being the case, we will kind of see what happens here as price moves along, and then we'll go from there. Okay. So, all right, we'll see what happens here in a few. We got market opening up in about 40 seconds, guys. So yeah, it's going to be a sell. If you're looking to take the breakout for today, it's going to be a sell for both the 1 minute and the 10 minute. I'll be looking for my scalps here, of course, and then we'll see what we got next. Yeah, we'll see what we got next. All right, guys, market is now open. So with market open right here, we got the breakout currently running, and we will see what happens here as price moves along. So you got the breakout running right there. It's pushed down already. It's already hit 40 points. So if you went for 40 points, full TP. If you went for 60 points, full TP. Yeah. Yeah, so far so good. Breakout right there is hit. If you're going for 80 points, I think the 80 points is still pushing. I'm basically gonna go push to there as well. So there you go, 80 points, full TP. If you're going for 100 points, we'll see if it bounces or pushes through this session right here. There's no scalps at the moment, but we'll see what happens here in a few. It actually pushed down pretty heavy at 100 points right there. So if you guys went for the breakout, doesn't matter what your TP was, all of them hit. Like literally all of them hit. So yeah, solid right there. All right. So it looks like we're good for the most part. Price is now pushing right back up. So with that being the case, we'll just wait for price to, it's going to invalidate this. Well, it already invalidated the liquidity. So we'll see how price pushes up here if we get some opportunities. But I'm going to grab some water real quick, guys, and I will be right back in 1 second. All right, guys, I am back. Very choppy open again. I was hoping today wasn't gonna be as choppy, but it is. We have new home sales at 7 o'clock, I believe. Yes, we got new home sales at 7 o'clock. So I was hoping we get some direction by then, but it's not looking so consistent. Hey, what's up, Kenny? Kenny said, "What's up, man? F Houston." Dude, I know, right? Man, I got messed up yesterday. Well, not really. Yesterday, the the sports betting. So I had a couple under bets for like Lakers versus Houston and then Warriors versus Celtics. Those games were supposed to be like low scoring because like Curry was out and just typically, the Lakers and the Rockets are just they're usually low scoring, but for whatever reason they scored a shit ton yesterday and it messed up the unders, but it's all good. We're 2-2 yesterday, so it's like break even basically. So, but it would have been good. It would have been like 4 out of 4 if they didn't get outscored. So, yeah, sports betting is tricky. It's very rigged, honestly. I'm starting to see the more and more, like I'm starting to see it more and more that it's rigged. How people always feel like sports betting and stuff is rigged because the you'll get like 1 or 2 points away, and then like it's like how like the sports books and the lines are so accurate. It's crazy. All right, anyways, guys, we got price kind of ranging here right now. We got price ranging between this liquidity level and this London low right here. Price isn't really going anywhere. So as you guys can see, I'm waiting for price here to provide liquidity to one direction, likely the sell side because everything is for a sell here right now. For the daily entry, it is, I mean, it's not really doing too much either. We're probably gonna have to look for a buy here. So I'm looking for lower structure here for price to bounce off the 10 minute, but there's not really much structure here. So I don't know where it's gonna bounce from. Unless it just keeps sitting at this London low, and then eventually it just turns over the other way and pushes up higher, right? I mean, that could be the case. Looking at my structure over here, the next support level is not anywhere near. The next support level is at 45,840. So that's going to be about, that's like 400 points away. I don't think the price can get down to there. So what might happen here is price might actually just flip from here and then break and retest from this point. But we'll see. Obviously, I'd ideally want to look for the 1 minute entries first before I move on to the 10. But it is very choppy right now, so we'll see. Uh, yeah, Kenny said freaking Timberwolves scored over 144, messed me up, but it was able to break even. So I actually had a an under bet on Timberwolves. Or no, it was a spread bet. So I had a spread bet. It was crazy. The score for Timberwolves, it was such a mismatch. But yeah, let me see. I got it over here. Yeah, so for the Timberwolves, we had Timberwolves under 13.5. That was a win, of course, because the score was like pretty massive. And then Thunder's Nets, it was under 213.5, which was also a win. The Warriors Celtics, though, like I mentioned, that was really close. That was off by like 1 point. And then the Lakers Rockets, I was off by like 3 or 4 points. So I don't really like under over bets, but that was all that was really good. I also took a side bet on the Lakers money line for 500, and that was pretty good. So I made like 540 off that. So in total, the wager was 500. Or yeah, the wager was 500, but the profit was 1,040. So you got the wager back plus the profit. So I just had a bet on the Lakers. I hate betting against the Lakers, and after I got screwed with the Rockets yesterday, I was like, man, there's no way. I was like, they're gonna take him out today, so that's why I took the extra bet. So that pretty much recouped everything else. The over under bets since I was only doing like 1 unit. Yeah, Kenny said like, how the fuck do they score over 144 without the stars? Yeah, everyone was out. Like Curry was out. I don't know. It was weird. I was really expecting low scoring for both teams. And all the statistics and the data show that it was going to be low scoring, but obviously did the complete opposite. All right, guys, we have price doing nothing right now. Like I said, we're waiting for the for the liquidity here to establish that we can, confirm a direction. But there's really no liquidity here. So you can see market opened up right here at 6:30. I'm looking for liquidity to establish between 6:30 and 7:15. The thing with this here is that we might get a dead period and then all of a sudden it'll pick up, just like what happened yesterday, right? If you guys remember yesterday's market, it was pretty dead like for the first maybe 30 minutes to 40 minutes, and then it started picking up right after. I feel like that might be the case again today. Like the market might stay dead until like 7 o'clock once the new home sales or the new homes data comes out, and then from there it'll start to pick up. It's starting to pick up here right now, actually. So we have one level of liquidity here. It's not a big one, but it's one. If this candle closes above this area right here, it's going to mitigate these older liquidity that was sitting from the sell side. And you can see right there, it's starting to mitigate them. It's got to actually close above it though for it to actually mitigate. So if that's the case, great. We'll get some liquidity down here and then we'll try to ride it up higher. Only problem here is that we have the Asia low and Asia and New York low right here. So we have some structure here to be careful for red flags. But if we can get this above this area, then I can look for entries over here. There's some break and retest off liquidity. Let's see. Kenny said you tried Kalshi. No, I don't think Kalshi is allowed, or they don't accept people from California because I tried out Polymarket too. We talked about Polymarket yesterday, and I signed up for it, but I can't bet on anything because it says it's not available in my region. So I'm assuming it's the same thing with Kalshi. So I don't think where are you located, Kenny? I forgot. I think you mentioned it yesterday, but yeah, I don't think in California you can do a lot. Like you could literally do nothing. Everything's illegal here. Um, so I can't even try Kalshi. I wanted to try it out though. It's pretty cool. Some people use Robinhood as well. There's another guy, Eric, who was in here. He mentioned that he uses Robinhood for sports betting. I didn't realize these platforms allow for that stuff. I know they call it futures. It's like a loophole, but it's still not allowed to California residents. All right, guys, we got price pushing up right now. Like I said, we have the liquidity, which is below here. I just need more liquidity to push up higher. I mean, there's different ways to run this. I mean, it just kind of depends on how you guys want to run it. If you guys want to use different structure, you can use the SR zones because there are SR zones here. So like, for example, like this would have been an entry right here. I don't know if anybody looked to take this, but this was a support zone, turn resistance, and you could have rode this up to the next level. So there's actually an SR. There's a zone to zone right here. Price broke below, broke above right here. And then you could rode this up to this next level right there for 60 points. So the zone to zone still works perfectly fine, but we just didn't have zones yesterday. So if you guys remember, there was just no zones in the area. There's more zones here. So if you want to keep riding it higher, if it, breaks past the next zone, which it might right here, you can basically ride this up to the sessions. But I'm not taking that. Like I said, there's three different ways to take these break and retest. It's either you're going to use the SR support resistance zones, you can use the high lows, higher highs, lower lows, or you can use liquidity. For me personally, I'm using liquidity because liquidity helps us knock out three stones at once, right? We can identify the direction of price, direction of momentum, and we can also enter with limit orders off the retest. So that's why I'm using liquidity here. But if you guys want to use different structure, there's different types of structure that you guys can use for the break and close and the retest. It can be support and resistance. It can be the high lows. It's just up to your preference. I'm just waiting for these liquidities here to establish. The reason why I'm waiting for the liquidities because it hasn't really established a direction yet, right? Earlier here, it's just been chopping up back and up and down. And then right here, price is trying to push up higher from where it's currently at. For this week so far, we're currently, if you're taking the breakouts, I think the breakout is, I think it's on a win streak this week. Yeah, because Sam passes evals. So Sam has like 7 funded accounts or 10 funded accounts now with Apex. He already had, I think, like 4 before. Now he's at 7 or 10 after that last breakout yesterday. And the breakout right here again did hit full TP for those of you who caught it for 100 points. So Breakout's been hitting pretty much every day this week. Um, for myself, I've just taken the break and retest from, I think, what day was that? Yeah, so my break and retest was on Tuesday. So I have that trade right there, which won. The daily entry also won that day for 150 points. I mean, we're pretty good for the month so far and for the week. I've only taken one actual trade here on the live session because the daily came on after we got off. So I mean, we're doing pretty decent. These are the stats for the year so far, 334,000. So it's not. We're technically on track. So we're on track with what I was aiming for. I mean, I was hoping it was gonna be more. I was like, okay, this year's gonna be amazing, right? So it's a good year, but it's not like it's nothing out of the ordinary. This is like kind of how it was last year too. It's just I took a lot less trades. Currently at a 3.97 profit factor. But yeah, we're just taking it steady, looking for these entries to come up, not really forcing anything at 6:46 right now. So mm, we got about 13 minutes until news at 7 o'clock. And I'm still gonna be looking for my entry until 7:15. So again, I'm looking for a liquidity here to establish. We have one level of liquidity right here. So that's gonna be the first level of liquidity. What I'm looking for again is I'm looking for some more liquidity to establish below so that I can take the break and retest. But I need to confirm liquidity and direction of momentum first before I can do that. Right. So until we have that direction of momentum, not really going to be any opportunities for entry just yet. And even if we do get an opportunity for entry right here, we have the shit, what I do? We have the sessions right here. So regardless, even if we do get an entry right here at this point, I'm not gonna be able to take it right here because of the red flags. I'll have to wait for it to really push past this area and higher, of course. Right. Or price pushes down, same thing. I mean, it doesn't really matter because we have sessions right here and we have sessions down here. So, I mean, either way, I'm probably going to have to wait for price to really push below this point or above this point here, which I don't know we'll get before 7:15, right? But I mean, it is what it is. If it comes up, great. If it doesn't come up, not going to force anything. So, so yeah. All right, 6:48. This is how the market's been this week, guys. Very choppy. I mean, as long as you're patient, you wait for your entry, you'll get it. It's just a matter of time until it comes, right? That's a problem with most traders. That's why they're not consistent because they can't be disciplined to trade when they're not supposed to. Right now, this is a choppy market. Let's go to the clean chart. So you might not be able to see the chop there, but if I draw this right here, you'll be able to see it a lot more clear. When there's nothing on the chart, it's a lot easier for you to visualize. So we got the big range right here. Right? It's pretty much been chopping up between this area, but like the smaller range is going to be like, so we have like a smaller range right here, right? So we got the small range up here, small range right here, big range if you want to just go for the bigger area there. But like basically this is kind of where market opened up. It's just ranging between this point. So there's not really much direction. It's pretty much just chopping up. Like I said, I'm waiting for direction here to establish so that I can start looking for opportunities for entry. We got a buy signal right there. Price is kind of doing what we were talking about on the 10 minute. So the 10-minute daily may come up for a buy. I'm looking over here right now. So we actually do have a pending buy signal right here on the 10-minute. If you guys want it, actually it just came up already. So the entry for this is at 300 right here. If anybody's looking to jump into this, let me see, I have to do my analysis for it first. I didn't really get it. I didn't think this was going to come up because we were talking about this earlier. I said price is probably going to reject off the sessions right here and then push up and then establish opportunity for entry, right? Which it did. So now the trade is currently it's not filled yet, but the setup is there. So this is the daily entry right here. It just depends on where your entry's at. For me personally, I like to get in at the whole number. So we talked about this. I get in at the whole numbers, which is right here, the 46,300. So if you want to put your limit order right there, you can. The problem is it's pretty much taken off. This is why I've moved back to the 1 minute because what happens with the daily entry a lot of times is we just miss the entire move because it never comes back to fill, right? Which is the case right here. It never came back to fill. This is probably going to hit the target. So depending on how you got into this daily entry, if you got in with a market order, you're probably already in the position. But if you waited for that retest, it hasn't filled yet. We're in an area of red flags right here. The Asia low, New York low. Let's go back to the 1 minute. Okay, so we have the third level right here, but this is what I just warned you guys about earlier, right? I'm not going to take this one yet. I'm going to wait for it to push above the sessions because it's a red flag. If you guys do want to take this here, if you don't care about the sessions and you just want to get into this position, which I think could be good because it aligns with a 10-minute daily entry, you can. The retest is going to be right here at 360, 369. So basically 46,369. I'd probably go lower. Actually, no, it did go lower because the candle pushed down. So the entry here would actually happen. I'd probably pull it in at the whole number, which is a 60 right there. So it should be currently running. I'm not in this position. Like I said, the reason why I don't take this position here is because of the sessions, right? So see how it's starting to manipulate off this area? That's why I'm not looking to get in here. I'm gonna wait for it to push up higher. I mean, I have the rules here for a reason, right? These sessions have been rules from day one. And good thing I skipped that right there because look how you would have gone stopped out. So hopefully you guys listen to me about not taking trades until price pushed above the sessions because you would have been easily stopped out right there. So, I mean, it is what it is. Entry there did not set up. We're starting to get the manipulation back into the range. Let's go to our clean chart. So price basically faked out right here, lured in the buyers, and now it's pushing back into this lower range. That's why it's key that you guys pay attention to these red flags, right? A lot of people like to ignore them, which is perfectly fine because, yeah, the trades do hit sometimes in a situation like that. But for me personally, I don't like taking trades at the sessions because I've gotten burnt there too many times. So I already know from personal experience that trading at the sessions is not a good idea. So we're currently just sitting right here at this resistance or support now turn resistance or resistance turn now support. So it's basically broken retest to the support level. We'll see what happens here as price reacts to this point. Is it going to bounce off here? Is it going to pull back below? Right? We don't know yet. Either way, I'm looking for liquidity here to establish. So if price starts to establish bearish liquidity and it comes down lower, that's perfectly fine. I'll look for sells. If price pushes back up from where it's currently at right here and it pushes above the sessions it holds, then I'll take buys. But I'm really looking to take trades either above here or below here. The daily entry hasn't finished yet, so if you guys still want to get into it, the entry's at their 46,300. So that whole number there. Um, as you guys know, I'm not looking for the daily yet until after 7:15. So between 6:30 and 7:15, I'm looking for these 1 minute scalps, and then after 7:15, I'm looking for that daily entry. So I mean, if it's still running, I'll trade within it. Like if this thing's still running for a buy, I'll probably try to get into like multiple liquidity scalps here, which looks like might be the case. I mean, price looks like it might push up here, retest the sessions. But again, I'm not going to take anything here until it breaks past here and until we have some sort of liquidity above the sessions. I'm not taking it if it's touching the sessions. All right. So nothing here right now. I don't think it filled yet. So it still hasn't filled yet. I mean, again, we've talked about this before, guys. It kind of depends on like where you want it to fill. I got a connection loss on Ninja. Um, the original strategy was to go back 20 points, right? So for example, right here, it was at 27, 17. So the entry would still happen at the 300, guys, no matter what, because we'd still pull back to the whole number. So unless you wanted to get in at like 20 points exact, it'd get in at 307, but I wouldn't get in at that price point. I'd get in at the whole number. All right, we're just getting some sideways move here. Again, what I'm looking for is for price to push above here. If it doesn't push above here, that's fine. I'm going to look for price to establish more liquidity to the downside. and then I can possibly ride this down. We got a while to go. This is about 160 points to the downside. Only problem with this is that this is going to go opposite of the daily entry, right? And if you guys are following the rule of two entries for the week losing for the daily entry, then you'd be done for the week. So for this week so far, the daily entry is actually at break even. So yesterday the daily entry lost. The day before that it won, and on Monday it lost. So technically this week there's two losses already. So even if I was to apply the daily entry, I probably wouldn't have taken it because my risk parameters would have been triggered, right? Um, if you guys remember. So the reason why I cut it off at two trades is because this will basically give me not a guarantee, but almost guaranteed break even for the week. Because if I have two wins, then I'm in profit for the week guaranteed. If I have one win and two losses, then I'm guaranteed at break even. So this would technically be a break even week for the daily entry. Because you're supposed to stop after two trades or two losing trades. So loss, win, loss. They're both for 1 to 2. So it'd be down 75 points, up 150 points, down 75, break even as of yesterday. But we didn't take this one yesterday because we took it came up after the live at like 8 something. All right, so let's go back to the chart over here. So it's actually filled now. If you guys are in that daily entry, it looks like it's filled for you guys. I'll be watching with you guys here. I'm not looking to get into it. I might actually be in the sell here for the 1 minute. It's not going to be a big entry, but it might set up because we have one level of liquidity right here, second level of liquidity. If I get a third level, then that's going to set up for a sell entry here for the um for the scalp on the 1 minute. The problem here is we have news coming up at 7 o'clock. This is high impact news. And the second thing is that these levels aren't very big, right? It's a 7 point level. Level has to be at least 10 points or higher, ideally like closer to 20 points. So we'll see what happens. You know, whenever we have news at 7 o'clock, the market does act a little tricky like it's moving right now. I'm hoping we don't get an entry anytime soon. So I'm hoping we don't get anything within like the next 10 minutes or 5 minutes or so, because I don't want to trade news. The news here for the new home sales, let's see, it's forecasted to be negative. Yeah. Or I mean it's mixed. So for January, it's forecasted to be negative. For month over month, it's forecasted to be positive. It's supposed to like kind of ease off a little bit. It was negative 1.7 last month, and they're forecasting it to be 0.9. So technically that's good. All right, I'm gonna chill for the next like maybe 4 or 5 minutes because I need to wait for the news to come out and the market to react to the news, and then I'll look for my entry there. But the daily entry is running in profit right now. If you guys are in it, I'm not in it. You guys know what happened last time. The last time there was an entry that happened at this time for the daily, it just spiked, right? So I'm not trying to get into that spike like what happened last time. We actually dodged a bullet that day because that day I canceled my order that was pending because it would have lost if it spiked right through. Plus, it's mixed news, so it's not one-sided. All right, we got news in 30 minutes. Or 30 seconds, sorry. It's 30 seconds. We got news coming up shortly. All right, let's give it some time here. Okay, so we got not much of a movement based off the news right there. The daily entry is running right now in profit, as you guys can see. The bearish liquidity got liquidated, or not liquidated, it got mitigated, same, whatever, same thing. Liquidated, mitigated, same shit. It's just different name for it. Okay, so the news was as expected. Actually, no, it was super off. This is way off. Okay, so the new home sales, it was actually, huh. The numbers are pretty crazy, actually. I don't think this is right. They're probably going to revise this because they were forecasting 0.72 million. It's 587 million. I don't think this is right. They're probably going to revise this. Like this is super off too. The new home sales for month over month, it was negative 1.7 and they put 1.17.6. I think it's 1.76. They messed up with the decimal point. And same with this one right here. I think they messed up with this decimal point. It's supposed to be 50.7. This is way too high. Um, okay, they're probably gonna revise this. It just doesn't make sense. Like, dude, it's gonna go 500 million. So I'll just refresh this later. I think they're gonna just the decimal point has to get moved over by one. So this will be 58.7. It was forecasted to be negative, so that's normal. And then same with this one right here. It was forecasted to be zero point 0.9. This should be 1.76. So I mean, I don't care about the numbers, but I just wanted to see how the market would react to it. All right, so looking at current price right now, the sell liquidity has disappeared. The daily entry is currently running in profit, as you guys can see right here. It's still stuck at the sessions. So I mean, it's a tricky setup right here. For those of you who are in it, or if you guys are thinking about getting into it, you can see the price is having trouble getting past the sessions. Let's go back to our clean chart. I mean, it's just structure being respected here. So this is our clean chart. You guys can see the structure there. It pretty much just jumped into the old structure from earlier pre-market. So this is the pre-market structure here, right up here. Price comes down right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Price is now just sitting within this upper structure. This is pretty much the pre-market range that was running through over here. Mm, there's not much to work with, guys. We've been in this type of market for the past week, or just this week, really. It's been really choppy. Last week was more directional. This week it was super choppy, which is normal. The market moves in phases. Like every week is kind of baked in already. So like as you guys know, so I think this is inflation, right? Because last week was, I think it was NFP. I might be wrong. So month cycles, we talked about this before. So week one is NFP, usually very volatile, directional, or chop. It's like one or the other. And then week two, which is I don't know what week two is. It's either it's either inflation because they keep pushing stuff back. Th Again, this is very usually very volatile, directional or chop. Week three, I think they were in week three actually. I take that back. So we're week three. Week three is Fed week, usually rangy, chop. And that's why this week is very ranging chop because it's Fed week. Um, and then week four is I forget what's week four. What is week four? Week four is I think it's jobs data, right? Yes, we got jobs data over here on Thursday. Yeah, this is jobs and sentiment week. It's just a warm up because it's gonna be NFP the following week. So like if one week is directional or choppy, the other one is usually the opposite, right? So last week was very volatile. And then this week is ranging. The week before that, it was more like a kind of choppy for NFP. So it was like chop, directional, ranging, and then next week should be um smoother, still ranging. Yeah. Okay, so this is what you could expect. I mean, this is how every month usually runs. Every week is usually kind of opposite of the other. So if week one is typically going is NFP, it's usually going to be either volatile. What I've noticed over the years and what people have noticed as well is like NFP is either really good to you or it's really bad, right? It's either going to be good or bad depending on your trading style. If you're trading directional, if the week's directional, it's going to be great. If it's choppy, then it's going to suck, right? So week one was more so kind of choppy. It was volatile, but it was choppy. Last week was more so directional. This week it's been ranging chop, and then next week it's gonna be smoother but still ranging because there's not a lot of uh of information going out aside from like the war, right? So I mean, if you look at the stats or like the news for next week, there's not really too much going on. It's a lot of low impact stuff. We have the big one's Friday. It's Michigan consumer sentiment, and then we have jobs data here on Thursday. It's just a warm up for NFP for next month. So like basically next week it's just a couple news events, not anything too crazy, some jobs data, some inflation data, and then the week after next week is going to be NFP for April. So I mean it's just how the market, that's how news works for the most part. It's the same cycle. It just depends on like what's going on. The thing that you want to be careful for or be aware of is that we might have another government shutdown. So if that's the case, this stuff might be off. Like they might push everything a week later. That's like the biggest thing. So like in years in the past, we didn't really have very many government shutdowns. And I'm gonna save this so that we could I'm gonna save this because I know we're gonna use this again in the future. I already have it. Fuck, man, I'm retarded. I saved it before the last time I did it. Duh. I literally had it saved already. So literally the same thing I just did right now. I did this for you guys the last time we were kind of looking at it. So yeah, week one is NFP jobs data, either directional or choppy. It was choppy last this week. Week two, um, was inflation data likely direct. So it's exactly what I just told you guys right now, but this is what happened a couple months ago. So it's the same thing that I just said. First week was choppy, second week was directional, third week was either directional or choppy, choppy until Wednesday, Fed interest rate. It's been choppy since, and then housing data, which is usually ranging. So literally the same thing I just told you, but this was in regard to like a previous month. So as you guys can see, it's nothing different, right? Literally what's happening this month happened on this month. I wish there was a timestamp so I can see when we created this, but this shows you that it's exactly the same. Like the monthly cycles don't really change. Okay, so let me take that off real quick. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get a daily or a scalp here, guys. We're getting really close to 7:15, which is my cutoff for the scalps. I might keep following it a little later, like maybe closer to like 7:30, but me sticking to my game plan and my rules, I probably have to stick to 7:15. The only thing here that I'm like a little, and I don't want to do this because I know this is bad for the trade psychology, right? If you go against your rules. But what we saw yesterday was market went past 7:15 and it was just choppy until 7:15. As soon as it hit 7:15, it started moving directional, and we had the initial entry like right after 7:15. So I'll see if we have the entry like at 7:16, but anything past that, I probably won't take it. But yeah, yesterday we had no trades. The trade ended up happening a little bit after 7:15, like at 7:16, and then there was like two back-to-back wins, and then it went back in a chop. So we'll see. Daniel. I just saw Daniel's message. I'm not gonna say it out loud, but yeah, that's literally how it's been and how it is right now, right? It's just some big ones back and forth right there. There's nothing going on. So it's just been like this all week. I mean, like I said before, these are just like the month cycles. It's Fed week is usually kind of slow. There's entries there, but it's very slow in a sense. Um, I mean, I don't really see anything here. I don't know if Siege is on here right now. Did he get on? No, Siege isn't on right now. I'm wondering if his bot took anything. I'm pretty sure that the bot here took the sell for the breakout, but I don't see anything else here. Actually, he might have taken this right. I think he has two wins for the bot. So just looking at what happened today, there was a breakout right here for a full TP, 100 points, and then there was a lower low reversal. So we had a lower low here, huge wick, nice body to the upside, and I think he would have taken this up for a buy right there for 60 points. So I think he probably had two wins so far. Um, Maybe a loss here if he took, no, I don't think he would have because there's a sessions there. He follows the sessions. Okay, so just looking at where price is at right now, I think he's currently up two wins with the bot. Just looking at my strategies. And I think he's going to wrap it up. I think his bot's going to turn off here at 7:15. So guys, just a heads up, Siege did get in touch with me yesterday regarding the bot. So the bot, he's still working on it. But in order for you guys to use it, you guys have to prove that you have 10,000 in your account. So we're not releasing it to everybody, guys, because I know some of you guys are going to try to exploit it and use it for prop firms, and we're not going to. Messi just it's too much work for him because he has to reprogram it for the prop firm. So if you guys do want to use the and this is from Messi, these aren't requirements from me, guys. So just this is so that you guys can use the automated bot. You're going to have to prove that you have 10,000 in a live account. Or let me read his message real quick. I think that's what he said. I don't know if he said 10,000, but I think that's what he meant. Let's see. Yes, he said 10K minimum. Okay. So in order for you guys to use the automated bot for my strategies, you're gonna have to need at least 10,000 minimum of personal funds ready, right? And you gotta remember, guys, this is gonna be risky. So though if this is your last $10,000, don't use it. Like only use the 10,000 if you have it. I mean, at that point, you might as well just invest in the hedge fund, right? Because it'll be a lot safer. But if you want to use the bot, like I said, Masij is making it a requirement that you have live funds and you have to prove it. You have to show that you have it in your account because we're not allowing you guys to use this on a prop account. If you guys, well, you probably wouldn't be able to use it on a prop account because the settings aren't going to be set. Like you can't use it on a regular account. It'd have to be live. The reason why you have to use live is because we're going to be using a different platform. So you're going to have to buy data. So the 10,000 isn't your only investment into this bot, guys. You're going to have to buy tick data from another place because you can't trade it on TradingView. So just want to make that clear, guys, before there's no surprises. So you guys understand that. We already told you guys from the start, it's only for live accounts, not prop accounts. So and this is going to weed out a couple people or a lot of people actually, who aren't ready to trade on a live account yet. But I mean, it's worth it, guys. I mean, in a sense, it's worth it because you guys have seen Massage's profits, right? But you got to think about this as like one account because I mean, obviously, you're not going to have like 60K to just inject into an account here. So you have like one account here, but you guys have seen the results from it. So just keep that in mind. So like, yeah, Masij from this for this week so far, I think he's up, I think, so 35,000 from the day before yesterday, 5,000 from yesterday. So that's 40,000 for the week. And then I don't think he took anything on Monday, or he did maybe, right? Yeah. No, so this is Friday. So Friday he locked in 23,000. The bot wasn't run on Monday or Tuesday, I don't think. And then Wednesday, I think he made 35,000. And then yesterday he made 5,000 for the bot. So, all right. Yeah, just want to give you guys a heads up. So there's no surprises. Let's see questions over here. So Ed said, will there be a trading view strategy indicator? I don't think so. Or maybe there will be, Ed. Personally, I don't think so because Masij doesn't use TradingView anymore because he doesn't trade like TradingView is good if you're manually trading or you're doing your own analysis, but for the automated like trading in the bot, we're using a separate platform that Masij created himself. So he created a totally different platform to just execute the trades because TradingView is too slow and it doesn't have tick data. Like TradingView is just not fast enough to run automated strategies correctly. So um, yeah, we're not going to be. I don't think he's going to be releasing it for TradingView. So I just want to give you guys a heads up on that too. There might be a tool where you can see that the entries come up so you can take them manually, but there's not going to be like you can't automate it through TradingView. Because we used to use webhooks, but the problem with the webhooks is that it's a little slow. You know, these entries come up too fast, you get errors, you get problems. So he um he pretty much created his own program to just run the algo bot on there. So it does it for it's just a lot faster. I think and we use Data Bento so you'll need a subscription to Data Bento. That's how you'll get the tick data. Like this is all quant stuff. This isn't like all the stuff that we're doing with the bot is not like a regular retail trader style trading. Let me see Data Bento. I don't know how much Data Bento is, but yeah, so this is Data Bento. It's just API for trading stuff. So like you'd be pulling data. I think it's like $80 a month for it. Yeah, because see all the automation here. This is how the automation would be taken to take the trades and stuff, and using the tick data. This is like one of the common things that quants use. There's Data Bento. There's another. I forgot what the other one was, but yeah, this is just market data API so that we can do everything automated. Masih will go more into detail about this when he comes back. He's at his quant internship right now, so he's busy. Um, but yeah, I mean, let me go through the questions over here. Yeah, so maybe there will be a trading view indicator that can show you when the entries are coming up, Ed, but I can't say for sure. As you guys know, Masij is very busy, so he hasn't been able to give any updates. But the release date, so Nikki was asking about the release date. It's probably going to happen at the end of this month or early next month, hopefully. With the updates that Masij has given me, it sounds like it's being set up sometime soon. So he's already, decided on which types of people can use the bot and like what platform and how much money you need and stuff like that. The reason for the 10,000, and then this is the same reason why it's a 10,000 minimum for the hedge fund as well, is because you need to be able to cover the margin, right? So it's not like you're going to risk the full 10,000, but you need enough to cover margin. Because if you have put 10,000 in, you need enough to float at least 5,000 of liquid assets in the account. So, and the other question is, a lot is asking which exchange should the funds be in. So I don't know yet for sure what Masij is going to require, but we might be using StoneX because he's obviously we want to use an institutional broker for this stuff. So we're probably going to use StoneX. And you guys can't sign up to StoneX unless you go through Cody Kai Capital because it's an institutional broker. So once we have updates, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, Masih just wanted me to give you guys a heads up on that. Messaged me yesterday to just give you guys an idea of like what to expect, what's necessary, what's required, stuff like that, so that we could use it. I mean, the bot's been great though. So if you guys have been following Masih, the bot has been doing great. I think from January until March, he, I think, locked in like 120,000. He withdrew all the money and then he increased his contract size. And now for this month of March, I think he's up 100,000 so far. So he's bumped up his contract size. I think he went from one contract at three, now at six. So it's doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Um, Yeah, I'm excited for you guys. I'm excited to use it myself, honestly. So I want to use it so I don't have to like looking at these entries between 6:30 and 7:15. It's kind of annoying sometimes because you kind of wait for it, it doesn't come up, and then you're like, damn, I just wasted my whole like 45 minutes here waiting for this. With the bot, I'm just gonna turn it on and then turn it off at 7:15. So pretty excited to see what happens with that. Rev said would be a great to see a video of it performing. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm with you on that, Rev. I haven't seen it being used because he does everything on his own server, so I don't really know what it looks like. But I'm sure he could just screen record as it's executing just to see how it works, stuff like that, which I'm sure he'll do. eventually. See, the thing with Mesich is that I don't know where he's running all this stuff from because I think he's running a lot of the stuff from his house in San Francisco, but he's also going to school at MIT in Boston. But he goes back and forth pretty often. And the hedge fund that he's currently interning at is in SF. Yeah, yeah, exactly. The grandma's basement. Yeah, so um yeah, I don't know. We'll try to get more information once Masij makes it to the live session. Masij hasn't been on the live sessions for the past month or for the past couple of weeks, guys, since the beginning of March, because he's currently interning at a big hedge fund in San Francisco, which is great. I'm glad he's doing that because he's getting information from that hedge fund and he's understanding how they operate and the platforms and stuff that they use so that he can kind of bring that over to us so that we can kind of use it too. Because a lot of this stuff is secretive, guys. Like, when I started my hedge fund, I started learning about stuff that I didn't know about either. Um, so it's cool that we have Message that's kind of like an insider over there and knows what they're using and stuff like that, so that we can kind of implement it into our own trading. Let's see. Daniel said, "Do you have a partnership with him to run for the hedge too?" No. So the hedge is just me. Um, yeah, he doesn't have the financial license to operate the hedge fund with me. So, I mean, maybe he'll get it in the future. We could operate together. But yeah, at some point, maybe we would maybe partner with something like that. I'm sure at some point in the future he'll be able to to get his license. His license is not that hard to get. It's just you have to take the test. It's just a lot of work. So I opened one of the new accounts with Apex guys, but I wanted to see how they work so I can kind of answer your guys' questions. And I mean, they're the same thing. There's nothing different with the Apex accounts. So just keep that in mind. I know some of you guys have been asking about the new rules and stuff like that. I don't think they've released new rules about the live accounts. And I haven't gotten to six payouts yet, so I don't know if they've shut. Well, I haven't even passed the eval yet. So the eval just started. So once that eval passes, I'll be able to let you guys know. But um, yeah, I wanted to just start one so I can kind of tell you guys how it works and what happens after that sixth payout if they shut down the account or if they just move you to a live account. My assumption is they're going to move you to a live account, but obviously we want to be sure. So just when I cross that bridge, I'll let you guys know. But right now, I'm currently in the eval stage. Hopefully, we get more entries for the rest of this month so I can get past that eval stage and then start to get payouts and then hopefully get to that sixth payout and then I can confirm what happens when you get to that sixth payout. I'm sure by then they'll have some type of update with regard to how that's going to work. Daniel's asking, are you using the bot for the hedge clients? I mean, probably, yeah, at some point, yeah, probably that's going to be the next move. I just don't know, like the risk is going to be high because, obviously the bot takes like multiple trades. So I might have to move down to the mini contract or not the micro because I think some of the hedge fund clients, when you're at 10,000, it's very risky to be taking, I guess, more than one trade with one contract. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, Daniel said, I guess once we make sure it can execute properly, that's exactly what I'm concerned about the most. I just got to make sure that it works properly, and if it does, then great. Because like with the hedge fund, I'm entering with like 200 contracts. So we talked about this yesterday with Masij. Um, it's really even for him, it's hard for him to get into positions because he's getting in with I think six contracts per account. So six contracts times six, he's getting with 36 contracts at a time, right? Yeah. And I think he's bumping it up to nine. So like for him, it's hard for him to get good fills already as is. I'm going in with like 200 contracts. So you think about that, going with 200 contracts at market order, it's I'm gonna get a lot of slippage. a lot of bad pricing. So that's why I moved over to limit orders because it would screw up my trades. Here, let's look at my profits over here. So you can see the difference when I get in with limit orders versus market orders. I mean, there's still going to be a little bit of slippage. So you can see over here, like some of the accounts are like at 2000. Some of them are like, there's just a little bit of slippage there with the limit orders. Like they're off by like maybe $10, right? Like a little bit. But with the market orders, see, the market orders are way different. I think this is the last time I took market orders. Like, see how like some of these are like this is off by like $30. This is off by like 20, $30. These are off by like $50. Like the market orders, it's just the slippage is really bad. Like for example, right here, this 346 or 1,346. This is 1,006, so $40 difference there. $20, $30 difference, a $200 difference, right? The slippage is really bad when you get into market orders. So that's why I had to shift over from market orders over to limit orders because the differential is like maybe $10 or so. So, and most of them are pretty accurate. They're not like super off. Like these are exactly the same because the limit orders got me in at an exact price. The only difference is really just the fees. So, I mean, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but again, we still have to, well, I have to make sure that the bot works well on even just one account with moderate size. All right, so I mean, if you guys are looking to take entries here, guys, there's just nothing here to take. I mean, we try to look for these entries for the scalps. They just didn't come up. So price came down. It established a zone there, established a zone there, established a zone there. This right here, I think these zones are too small. So we wouldn't really be able to take a retest there. It's a 5 point zone. It's not worth the risk. Let's see. Daniel said, I think balancing scaling contracts with speed is something we will need to monitor. Yeah, exactly. Because, obviously, if we start to scale up higher, I think if you guys are going in with one account and you're only taking, I'd say, under 20 contracts, you could get in at decent fills. But once you start to go past I would say maybe 40, 50 contracts, you're going to start to get more slippage because there's the volume book on like YM is really thin. So you're not going to have orders on both sides automatically. Like I'm looking at the depth of market right now on StoneX. I'm looking at the waiting orders. There's like maybe 50 orders, but they're like within a 10 point gap. So between 46,080 and 46,070, there's only like maybe 50 orders or 50 contracts waiting. So if you're trying to go in with about 50 contracts, you're going to fill all of those 10 point or those 10 that price difference. So let me just show you guys real quick. I'm looking at the order book right now. The order book is really thin for YM compared to ES or NQ. We might have to move to a different asset like ES or NQ because the books are they're not as thin. So like right here, for example, 10 points, right? If you were to get in for a sell right here, there's only like 50 contracts to be filled within this 10 point period. So what happens is you'll get a decent average fill right here. Like you'll try to get in at we'll say like 46.64. Your average fill is probably gonna be like 46.60 because you're just gonna average out the price. And then if all these orders get taken, then like you gotta get filled down here. So your average ends up being like kind of crappy, right? Because you wanted to get in up here, but you're actually getting in at this price on average. So you kind of you lose out on like 10, 20 points right there because of slippage. Or it's not even slippage, it's really just the fills. Because there's not enough orders to take your order to take your trade. So that's why I use limit orders now and use market orders. So I'm going in with like 200 contracts. I can't fill all of my contracts at this exact price because a lot of people don't understand this, like because you guys are trading with Apex and stuff like that. But if you're trading on a live market, you have to have orders on the other side. Like when you're taking a buy, there has to be a seller to take your order. And then vice versa, if you're taking a sell, there has to be someone on the other side to take your order. Um, and if you hit market, you're telling your broker like, hey, get me in at whatever price. I don't care if it's up here. I don't care if it's down here. Like, just fill me in the price. Um, And that could mean the difference between winning or losing a trade because you're going to get in at like really crappy price. And then, so like, for example, if you're getting in for a short right here and say your TP stop loss was 60/30, but then you end up getting in from like right a little lower down here, then your stop loss gets tighter because you only were able to withstand so much drawdown. Yeah, Vince said I hate clicking buy market and my position is like 10 or 15 over. Yeah, exactly. That's slippage. It's slippage, but it's even worse for like it's worse for like if you're seeing that with like just like one account or even like a couple of accounts, imagine if you're going in with like 200 contracts. It's pretty bad. Like I think I took a trade like last month and that's where I started to really see it because I got into a position and like I was like, oh, perfect. I got into a position and then I was like, my TP stop loss is like perfect right here. But then I ended up filling like my average fill was like down here. And I was like, okay, my risk reward sucks now because if I get stopped out, I don't have a 30-point stop loss anymore. My stop loss is like 50 points or 45 points. And my target is only like 40 points, right? So it became a 1-to-1. It was like I was going in for a 1-to-2, but then I ended up getting only reaching like a 1-to-1. So yeah, I mean they're just growing pains. Like I'm not used to trading like 200 contracts or 300 contracts. So like when I started to come in with more size on a live account, it's you start to see things that you didn't think was a problem, and now it's a problem. All right, so we got price pushing up. The daily entry did play out today, so it was a good thing that we skipped it, or I skipped it at least. We talked about this over over the entry time earlier. So I mentioned if there's two losses for the week, we usually stop trading the daily entry. And the reason why we do that is because if it's losing, it's usually telling us that, okay, the strategy is not working right now, right? This is not the type of market to apply this type of strategy. So, and it looks like it would have lost either way. If you took it for a buy or a sell, if you took a sell here, it would have lost because it would have stopped you out before it reached target. And then if you took the buy here, same thing, it still would have lost, regardless of the fact. So it's because of the choppy market today, which is perfectly fine. I mean, we already knew it was choppy. We've been anticipating this from Monday, and we were able to avoid, these bad entries due to the conditions. All right, so let's just see. There really hasn't been any break and retest entries today. I'm surprised there hasn't been anything here so far. Um, yeah, there hasn't been any sells here because these zones are too small. Now, let's just replay to this candle real quick. Yeah, all of these zones are too small, so they're not retestable. They have to be at least 10 points or so. What else we got here? So we might be able to get something here for a buy, but again, these zones are a little too small. This one is not a little, this is very too small. It's only 3 points. Again, it has to be at least 10 points. The bare minimum is 10 points. Ideally, you want it a little bigger, like maybe 15 to 20 points, but and it just invalidated right there anyway. So it mitigated the liquidity. So I'll follow the liquidity entries if they come up. If they don't come up, great. I mean, it's fine. But I'll just follow it because I want to see if the entries do set up. I don't know why this thing keeps dragging up. Do you guys see that? For some reason, my trading view keeps dragging up for some reason. I don't know. I feel like my trading view has been kind of glitchy lately. I don't know if anybody else has been experiencing that. I don't know if it's because I have too many tabs open. I mean, I might I have like maybe 20 tabs open. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I also have like two other tabs on my other screen, which I should probably just close because I'm not even using. I'm gonna do that actually. It's like pointless. I have like three different trading view tabs or windows, and then I had like 20 tabs open. I think it's causing lag for my trading view. Let me check my activity monitor. What's causing the lag here? It's my Zoom. I don't know why the Zoom is like lagging my shit so much. What I might do is I might start running the Zoom on my laptop. I'll just bring my laptop on here. You guys like the laptop anyways because it has a better microphone and it also has better camera. So I might just bring my laptop in here. I'll stream the Zoom through my laptop and then I don't know, I'll figure it out. Or I should just listen to Message and order my order my Mac Studio. I just don't want to transition everything. It's so much work to get a brand new computer and then have to transition everything over. It's being lazy. Hey, what's up, Paul? Paul said Sean is May. All right, never mind. Paul just deleted his message. But I saw the gist of it. Paul said basically he's gonna save money. That's cool, Paul. Yeah, save money and then Paul's gonna save money and then invest in the hedge fund or use the bot with Siege. I think you're better off just investing in the hedge fund, honestly, Paul, because with the bot, you're probably gonna do stuff that you probably shouldn't because you're gonna see the how it works. I'm kind of thinking of you being in in Steven's position, right? Like Steven, I don't know, Steven's here, right? Steven finds a way to change things up. Not necessarily a bad thing, not necessarily a good thing. Finds a way to change things up, which could be good or it could be bad. We actually want Steven to mess with the bot because I want him to figure out if there's something different we should do. Anyways, here's a retest entry, guys. I just wanted to mark this up. Like I said, I'm going to follow the retest entries. I'm not going to take them, but I'm just going to follow them to see how they play through. So we got the retest entry right here. And I'll just show you guys the example. So we had liquidity, 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 basically three levels of liquidity right here and established another one right there. I'm not in this position. The reason why I stopped trading after 7:15 is because the market typically goes into chop. The only difference here is that market has been in chop all day. So good thing that we skipped the entry there. I just wanted to see how it would have played out. But you can see the market here is still in chop. So again, this is why my rules are important. You guys can trade outside of 7:15, but for me, I'm going to stick within my window, 6:30 to 7:15, because I found that after 7:15, and even Masij, he stops trading the bot after 7:15. 7:15 is cutoff. Before our cutoff used to be 8 o'clock. And then for a while, our cutoff was at 8:30, right? The thing is, the market's always shifting, so you have to understand when's a sweet spot to trade. My sweet spot right now is 6:30 to 7:15. This is the only time I'm looking for entries, really. If it happens after this, it's going to be a daily entry. But you guys can see it's just market is chopping up back and forth. We're having liquidity starting to establish, but it's not super consistent. Vince is asking about power hour. I mean, you can make trades during power hour. I mean, I've talked to a lot of people about power hour, and they say it's like it's just another time for people to blow their accounts, right? Like you have to just figure out what you want to trade. If you want to trade power hour events, then stick to just power hour. Don't trade in the morning, right? Because the reason why a lot of people don't like trading in the morning is because of the manipulation, right? They don't like the extreme volatility and the manipulation. Power hour is the same exact thing. It's just the open, but at the end. So I would say if you want to trade power hour, stick to just power hour. Or if you want to stick to the morning sessions, trade the morning sessions. Um, because I can almost guarantee if you're trading both morning and power hour, you're not going to be profitable because you're going to make profits in the morning and you're going to blow it at power hour, or vice versa. You're going to lose in the morning and you're going to make it in power hour. And it's just, and it's not even from me. This is from people who actually trade both or have traded both or trade one or the other. I know a lot of people who either just trade the morning, or I know a lot of people who just trade power hour, and they've told me the same thing. You know, if you're going to trade one of the times, then just stick to that specific time. Yeah, iPhone said afternoon session does seem a lot smoother. It seems smoother on certain days. I've looked at the evening session on other days, and sometimes it's just really dead, or it's like crazy volatile. It depends on what's happening for that day. Like if there's news at 11 o'clock, like for example, yesterday we had We had the interest rate news. If that's happening, it's going to be very choppy, very volatile. On a regular day, it's going to be pretty smooth. So let's take a look real quick. I know there's nothing to take right now, so we'll just go and take a look at power hour from yesterday. Right, so power hour from yesterday, pretty smooth right here. I like to look at power hour between 11 and 12. 12 is usually my cutoff for the day. I don't like going after 12 because you might have to hold on to the position like it's not going to hit before the day ends. And then let's look at the previous day over here. So that's Wednesday. Let's go to Tuesday. So again, right here, this is power hour, but it's very choppy, right? So like I said, it's not always very smooth. So for example, right here, this is Tuesday this week. It shot up, then it shot down, then it shot back up, then it shot back down. It was basically in a big range. But then again, if you look over here in the morning, it was really smooth, right? So that's why I'm saying you guys got to just, if you want to trade a certain time period, just look at it. Look at the morning and look at the evening. Sometimes the morning's going to be smooth and sometimes the evening's going to be choppy. It's not always the same. So that's why I say, like, if you're going to trade it, you got to choose one or the other because one session you're probably going to make profit, the other session you're probably going to lose. So, and here, let's look at Monday real quick before we go back. So Monday over here, you can see power hour was very, I mean, it started moving directional, but then there's a lot of low volatility. So it was good from like 11 up until 11:30 and then very choppy right here and not much. So you had a power, not a power hour, but you had a power 30 basically. First 30 minutes movement and then dead. And then let's go over here to the morning session. Very smooth and directional, right? So again, guys, if you want to trade power hour or morning, look at the sessions because they're not always going to be the same. It's not, there's not one that's better than the other. It just, you're going to find the opposites happening. So I guess if you want to trade both, you can see if the morning session sucks. And if the morning session sucks, then just trade power hour. The thing with me is I don't want to be on the computer all day, right? What's the point of being like the whole reason I became a trader was to have free time. So if you're asking me specifically, I would never get on for power hour. That's why I stopped trading the 4 hour time frame, right? I used to trade the 4 hour time frame, but I hated to be on the computer every 4 hours, right? 6 o'clock, check the 4 hour time frame, 10 o'clock, uh, 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Like it's like a job. Like the whole reason I got into trading is for time freedom. So, if I wanted to be on the chart all day, then yeah, great. I'll trade on the 4 hour or I'll trade power hour, or I'll trade all day. But my whole goal with trading was really to just not work. So that's why I stick to 6:30 and 7:15. If my trade doesn't come, that's so be it. That's fine. I'm not stressing out after it because you can see here, if you try to trade between 7:15 and right now, there's a lot of times you could have lost trades and you would just screw up your account. So just keep that in mind, guys. That's just that's kind of how things work. And I mean, you'll start to understand the market. Like what I would say is if you guys really want to study how the market moves, study it hour by hour, right? So if you have free time, like this isn't even looking at strategies or anything like that. If you have any free time, I would say just go and mark up the sessions hour by hour and just understand how the market moves and then find your sweet spot. That's how I was able to find my sweet spot, right? Like you can go right here and just mark up between four and you'll see how the market transitions. There's always transitions in the market and you can always kind of figure out what's your sweet spot, what you want to trade. Because realistically, if you can focus for like about an hour a day, which is what I do, you can find consistency. The problem is if you go after an hour, you start to have your brain fatigue, right? You start to see things that aren't there. You start to overtrade. You start to revenge trade. That's a whole like that's why a lot of people suck at trading is because they can't focus for that long. And if they do lose focus, they're already you got to think about it. We're analyzing by the minute, by the second, and you can only do this for so long until you get tired. So again, right here, 4 to 5. See, if you see a pattern here, it usually comes up, then reverses, then it goes sideways. If you want to trade pre-market, you can trade that time. If you want to trade from 5 to 6, pre-market, like pre-market, it's pretty directional right there, right? 6 to 6, 7 o'clock. I mean, today was choppy, but you can see the transitions, right? We have chop, directional, chop, directional, chop, 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 directional, directional. So yeah, I mean, there's always a pattern there. If you guys do that, just draw it from hour to hour. So there's always going to be opportunity, guys. You just have to be able to be smart about it, not take dumb trades or not make dumb decisions and, stuff like that, guys. You just got to be realistic. Yeah, because I hate when people talk about like, oh, like I want to trade all day. Like, bro, go ahead and trade all day. You're gonna blow your account. I've been there. Like when I first started trading, I tried to trade like literally all day. I was like, oh, I'll trade New York session from like 6:30 to fucking 12, and then I'll go to the gym and I'll come back and I'll trade Asia session. Bro, that shit doesn't work. Just keep that in mind. It really doesn't work. Because like I said, you're not going to be fully focused during that period. And what happened is I make a lot of money during New York and I lose it all during Asia. It happened to me. So like I think I traded like that for at least 1 or 2 years. I thought, okay, I trade more, the more money I'll make. Nope. Like you make a lot of money, but you lose it right after. That's pretty much what happened with Paul here, right? Like same situation with Paul. Paul was so confident that he was going to get his first payout. And it sucks because I knew this was going to happen, Paul. Honestly, like, I didn't want to say anything, but I knew this was going to happen because you kept trading Asia session, and I knew eventually you were going to blow the account. Just kind of same situation with Steven. Like I didn't want it to happen, but I knew it was going to happen because it's from experience, right? I've done it too. Like if you guys remember, Paul was posting. Like this guy was trading all day, and I was like, it's not good that he's doing that because I'm going to see him. He's going to do really. He's going to. I forgot where you posted, Paul, but you used to post your profits in Asia. And when I started seeing you and Steven start to kind of collab on like, yeah, I mean, I don't remember where you posted it at, but it was somewhere over here. When I started seeing you trade during Asia, I was like, it's not good because I know you're going to blow your account. It's just a matter of time. Yeah, so Paul used to post his trades here, right? Like he was posting his trades that were happening. This was morning session. He did great in the morning. And then you were posting here at night. You said that you took gold trades and they all hit stop loss, right? When I started seeing that, I was like, this is not a good sign because I know Paul's gonna. It's just a matter of time until you start to go through it into a black hole and you start to blow your accounts. Um, and Paul's an example. Like, not it's not a bad thing. Like for example, some days he's gonna have good trades, right? He posted this at 6 p.m. He was trading Asia. He probably shouldn't have been trading Asia. It feels good when you're winning, but when you start losing, like I think Paul was only off like $100 from passing. And honestly, if you stuck to just New York session, you would have been great. Yeah, see, like right here. Like I saw you were posting good trades, and I didn't want to jinx you, but it just it happened. So I'm looking over here. Like if you would have just stuck to Asia, you probably would have been doing okay. But the thing is, you were trading Asia at New York session. And one of the sessions is going to screw you up. So yeah, these are Paul's posts from before. And unfortunately, he got really close to getting his first payout. Yes, he took a loss here as well. And the thing is, like, so this is one thing too. I was reading your messages, and you were kind of like the way you were talking, you were going for these streaks. Like I could already tell that like you were aiming for the wrong thing. You were trying to go for streaks, you were like chasing trades and stuff like that. So I already knew like your luck's gonna run out at some point. And as long if you're not managing your risk properly, you blow the account. So just take that as not to you, Paul, but in general to you guys here. You're not unstoppable, guys. Eventually, you're gonna hit a you're gonna hit a hump, and you have to use proper risk because there should be no reason for you to blow your account in one day, right? If you grew your account 5, 6, 7,000, and then you blow it all in like 3 or 4 trades, you just the goal just wasn't there. Because it should like there should never be one day that will blow your account. If you had a shitty week, if you lost every day for a week or you lost every week for a month, then okay, the strategy just stopped working. You blew your account that way. But if you blow your account in like hours or in days, your risk management just wasn't there. Like for example, for me, I cut off like me and Massige, right? If we have 2 losses, we're done for the day. We don't keep pushing it. And that helps us maintain our accounts, right? I haven't blown an account in I can't remember how long. I think the last time I blew an account was maybe like a year or 2 years ago, and it was just a prop account. It wasn't even like a life funds account. So just, keep that in mind, guys. Like there should, if you ever blew your account within one day of trading or even just a few trades, it's it wasn't the strategy, it wasn't the market, it was you as a person or you as a trader. It's just that's why a lot of people don't last in trading because the psychological effects of it are are extreme, right? Everyone makes trading seem like it's super easy. It's really not that easy. The strategies are easy to follow. Execution is easy, but following your strategy, being consistent, being disciplined, a lot of people don't have it. So yeah, Paul said it, Sean. I may save up for some capital for you to use the hedge. Probably safest bet. I saw your other message, Paul. I don't know why you deleted it. Paul mentioned that he thought the bot would be best for him. Personally, I don't think the bot would be best for you, Paul, because you're still in the equation, right? Like it just goes back to what I just mentioned. You can be doing really good, but you can still screw it up because you have control over the bot. If you don't have control over anything, then I think you're in the best place. Uh, because if you still have control over it, like you still have the power to turn it on and turn it off. And I already know you, Paul. Like you already proved to me here that you can't control yourself in Asia session. So you'll run the bot during New York, and I already know one of these days is going to come along where you're just like, oh, I wonder if it's going to work during Asia. You're going to turn it on during Asia, and your account's blown. I already know it's going to happen because you got to have self-control to not trade during other sessions, and you've already
Yeah.
proved that you can't have self-control. But if you want to use it, it's fine, Paul. I'm not going to stop you from using the bot. I just, I'm looking out for your best interest. So if you were to ask me what would work best for you, it would just be to have it completely hands-free and you out of the equation completely. All right. So anything else? Daniel said, do you guys not sleep at night? I know Steven doesn't because this guy's up 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 4 a.m. Steven's the only person that's consistently posting profits in the chat. Like Steven over here, 10 p.m., 9 p.m. Steven is like this guy is on he's on it. 10 p.m., 1 9 p.m., 1 p.m., 12 p.m. Like I don't know what you do besides trade, Steven. Yeah, Steven said when I feel money, when I make free money, I feel great and actually makes me want to work. Yeah, that's the thing. You gotta take that feeling out of the equation too. Because if you're chasing the money, you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. It's just that's just how it is. It's just how it is. Okay. I'm just talking to Paul in the background. Yeah, Paul has just basically just told me that he would rather just have me or Masij kind of like, handle stuff, which I agree. So I'm gonna be real with you guys. Like I'm not gonna tell you guys to do something that I think is gonna be counterproductive, right? Like if I know you personally and I think that you just don't have the ability to stay consistent and disciplined, I'll tell you. I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you, oh yeah, you can just keep trying and trying and trying. I can tell if someone's not gonna last in this. I mean, I've been trading along for a long time and I've been mentoring people for a long time. I know I can see it in someone if they're going to be consistent or not, just by their habits with trading. Um, like Steven, I don't know about you, bro. You're a wild card, honestly. For you, I thought it'd be better if like, you were kind of out of the equation too. But the thing is you have really good days and you have really bad days, so I can't really tell with you. You're like I just can't read how like what makes you consistent and what doesn't because there's a lot of times where you post profits and you're like I'm like, man, if this guy could just stick to like if you guys look at Steven's profits he was killing it between like nine. I think you have to look at your profits, Steven. Look at the times when you suck and look at the times where you're good. Because it seems like you suck in the morning, bro. Like 8:59, you just have a lot of losses. But it seems like at 9 o'clock, like if you just wait until 9 o'clock, you start to do really well actually. From like 9 until 12. I think what you should do, Steven, is document your trades, put them into a journal, and then just see where you like are good at trading and where you suck. Because there's some days where you just have a bunch of losses, and it seems like it's a pattern. Like there's certain time periods where you're just not good at trading, and there's certain time periods where you're good. Um, yeah, like right here. So you're trading at like 1 p.m. and you're just taking loss after loss, but then you're trading at 10 a.m. and you have all wins. Like 9 to 10, it looks like you're doing okay. Mornings you do okay, and then you have all these losses at 9 p.m. This should be a sign don't trade at 9 p.m., 12 p.m. It looks like anytime after 12, don't trade because it looks like you just have actually no, I see this is what I mean. You're a wild card, bro. I don't know when you're doing good or not. Because on some days you're also trading different assets. So Bitcoin, it seems like you really shouldn't trade Bitcoin because you just lose with Bitcoin. And then with gold, you do a little better. So I don't know. Just that's my input for you, Steven. You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out eventually. All right, guys, if there's questions you guys have, feel free to hop into the chat. It is 7:57 right now. We got market hitting 8 o'clock in a few moments. You guys can see there's nothing going on right here. It's pretty choppy. I know we've been kind of off topic a lot of the time today, but I mean, there's nothing that's been going on. You can see this chop's been happening for the past 20, 30 minutes now. I drew the structure pre-market, or like market open. So this has all been drawn up from earlier today, and you can see how price is pretty much respecting these zones. There's like nothing there. Yeah, Steven said, when I revenge trade, that's when I lose. I get emotional and creative when I trade. Yeah, I mean, you really do because I've seen you. You've been trading a lot of like random stuff that I wouldn't see you trade or anybody trade really. Like I think Steven trades gold, he trades Bitcoin, he trades the Japanese index, he trades the Chinese index. This guy is a jack of all trades. Yeah, but I think you should just stick to one thing, Steven. Or not. I mean, doesn't matter what I tell you, you're still gonna do it anyways. So do whatever works for you. All right, guys, unfortunately, no trades for me today. So again, here are my stats. Um, I gotta do this. I was forget to do this. Let me do this before I get nicked for this. Okay, guys, just a disclaimer before we continue. I am registered with the CFTC NFA as a professional trader. This is my NFA ID. Futures trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. You can lose more than your initial investment. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. This stream is for informational and educational purposes only. Nothing shown or discussed is a solicitation to buy or sell any futures contract or to participate in any trading program. I may hold positions in the market as discussed. My views may change at any time based on market conditions. If any hypothetical or backtested results appear during the stream, they have significant limitations and do not represent actual trading. So there goes the disclaimer, guys, and let's continue. I gotta do that in the beginning. I just need to put a post-it somewhere to remind me. Otherwise, otherwise I'm gonna have the regulators breathing down my neck again, telling me that I gotta give my disclaimer. It's crazy. So like the minimum fine that people get, not just for that, for not disclaimer, but just in general, because I see the fines get sent out every day. The minimum fine's like 100,000. That's a lot of money. 100,000 for soliciting or doing something that you weren't supposed to. Uh, and then they also suspend you. It's crazy. So they suspend you, you get a fee, and then if you want to come back, you got to pay another fee. So it's like here, you're suspended, you owe 100,000. If you want to come back and reapply, you got to retake the test, and you also have to pay another 100,000. I'm like, that shit's crazy. It's crazy. Vince said, no, I don't mind, Vince. If you want to remind me, feel free. Um, I think what I might do in the morning is I might just have it open already so that it's at the beginning of the stream. But yeah, thanks, Vince. If you want to do that, that's completely fine. I appreciate it. Um, Here, yeah, let's see. I'm curious. Yeah, I was looking to see like where the yeah, I don't have it on here. I was just because I was looking yesterday. They send emails every day when they file orders against people for the NFA. But yeah, if you again, if you ever want to see if someone's like a legitimate like professional trader, you just search them up. Like if you wanted to search me up, you would just search my name. It wouldn't be under yeah, so you can see right here, or no, not this one, individual. Like if you wanted to look me up, you'd find that there. So you can see here that I am an NFA member, like I'm registered as a professional trader. And then if you want to look at the firm, you just type in like Cody Kai and it'll come up there. Because I feel like there's a lot of people who say they're professional trader, but they're not really registered or they don't have like the licensing. But yeah, you can see right here, this is how you find the stuff. But yeah, every day I get a news release from people and they or from the NFA, like of them position making. Yeah, I'm always curious to see like what people get hit with. And it's like crazy money. Like they're making so much money with all these violations. Like the minimum is like is like 100,000. I've seen someone get hit with like almost like 50 million, but they were a broker, so it's different. It depends if they're a broker, a pool, a hedge fund, etc. It's really interesting to see because there's a lot of different hedge funds out there, and seeing them get hit with these crazy fees, it's nuts. But then again, they're making like millions, like every day. So it's like okay, they can afford it. I just wouldn't want to be on that side getting hit with something. It's crazy. All right, guys. So there's literally nothing going on here. You can see prices going back and forth. It's just very choppy. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to hop into the chat, and I'll answer your questions. Um, yeah, I mean, I just don't really see much here right now. I think, and I think we might just be wrapping this up for the day. So the daily entry's done. There's like literally no scalps here. I was trying to see if there was something that would come up so I can kind of see there's opportunity, but we just been in this shop all day, so not really expecting much here at all. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. It's 8:03. I got a meeting right now, anyways, at 8:30. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. I'll still be around for the day. I'll probably be around until like maybe 10 a.m. I got a couple meetings um, with some new hedge fund clients, so I'll be hanging around. But if you guys do have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Again, these are the stats for the week so far. So we're currently up just one win, one official win. I'm up 54,000 across these accounts. And then on top of that, these aren't my hedge fund accounts. These are like, I think the prop accounts. I wasn't able to link the hedge fund accounts because StoneX doesn't let me link it up. But these are my personal profits for the week, 3,000. This is just my personal account, StoneX. And then obviously these accounts right here. But yeah, I mean, that's it. No trades for today. We have the last trading day this week tomorrow on Friday. Let me see if there was news for tomorrow. There is, there's no news. So, I mean, maybe we'll have a more consistent market. Maybe we'll have a choppy market. It just kind of depends on on how the market moves. And then hopefully we'll be able to get at least one entry tomorrow before we wrap up this week. But all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session. So, all right, guys, I'll see you guys here tomorrow. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord.